Good morning and welcome back to Sunday Storytime here on Gaming with ADHD, where today we are continuing our read-through of Star Wars Jedi's Honor, a solitaire adventure starring Luke Skywalker. Now, this was originally published by West End Games in 1991 and is a choose-your-own-adventure style story that allows you to take on the role of Luke Skywalker and guide him through an adventure. This essentially is a solo role-playing game with no game master required. But what we're doing today is I will read through a portion of the story. When I reach the end, it will be up to you, the viewer, to actually make the decision as to what happens to Luke. Now, with those choices, based on the comments and the way that the votes go, whichever selection receives the most votes will be the video that comes out next week. So, make sure you put in your comment in the video. But if this is your first time here, there is a link in the description that will take you back to the first episode so that you can get caught up and see where the story's at now. So, last time when we were here, Luke Skywalker was proceeding to 24 Treadway, an asteroid in the mining belt, to get some more information. And there was an attack by TIE fighters, and so the choices were for Luke to either attack the TIE fighters or abandon that idea because he would be outnumbered and go straight to Tol Addo, the Empire prison planet. Now, based on the comments, we're going to go to Tol Addo, so let's see what happens. The TIEs open their formation into a wide diamond and approach slowly. Their fire points are now bright enough that Luke can easily distinguish them from background stars. The Imperials appear more interested in keeping intruders away from the assault than in attacking a lone X-Wing and a prospecting scow. Unfortunately, with the TIE's numerical advantage, Luke doubts he can fight his way past them to the shuttle. "We'd better not tangle with these guys," Luke says. "We're not going to help anyone by getting ourselves killed." "You're the man with the starfighter," Gideon replies. "Whatever you think." Luke swings his X-Wing around and accelerates away from the assault. Gideon follows, his scow moving surprisingly fast for such a bulky craft. The TIE light points quickly fade to nothingness. "We'd better ditch that starfighter of yours before we go to the Tol Addo Visitor Center, son," Gideon says. "Sydney knows just the place. Follow us." A prison planet visitor center sounds suspicious to Luke. "I don't know about going to that center," he says. "Why would anyone build a thing like that?" Sydney says Parnell thinks his prison is an artwork, Gideon says. He just wants to display it. It also reminds folks what'll happen to him if they get out of line. We might as well take advantage of it. Can't think of a better place to make our plans from. "Okay," Luke says. Gideon leads the way to an asteroid cataloged as 40,005 Milton. At first, the asteroid looks like a dust particle suspended in a dark room. Within a few minutes, however, it more closely resembles a gray sugar cube floating in a vat of black sludge. They descend into a small dark crater, no more than 20 meters across. Floodlights on Gideon's bow illuminate the crater walls to daylight brightness as the ship heads into the maw. The crater is actually a tunnel leading deep into the asteroid. Luke admires Gideon's skill and confidence as a pilot, for his ship has no more than a meter of clearance on a side. Finally, after 3 tense minutes, they reach a wide spot in the tunnel. Gideon turns the scow around and lowers a ramp from the belly airlock. Luke lands the X-Wing, buckles up in his vac suit, then unloads R2 and helps him up the ramp. The interior of Gideon's rock can is dark, without being gloomy. Like most prospecting junks, Gideon's ship consists mostly of a battered cargo bay used to ferry ore to a refinery. The repulsor engines, slow but powerful, sit directly aft of the cargo bay. The crew quarters, which Gideon maintains immaculately, but without extraneous decoration, are organized for both comfort and efficiency. "Why are you bringing that along?" Gideon demands, pointing at R2-D2. "It's a long story," Luke says, "but he might come in handy. I've used this little guy in similar situations." Gideon grunts, unimpressed. "I don't much care for droids myself." R2 whistles sharply. "What did he say?" Gideon demands. Luke shrugs. "I can't understand him unless he's plugged in." In this case, Luke feels confident it is just as well the droid cannot be understood. Gideon raises the airlock ramp, then directs Luke to a seat. A few minutes later, they leave 40,005 Milton and lumber toward the Tol Atto Visitor Center. So, remember that Luke left his starfighter at the asteroid Milton. He may need it later. Tol Atto is a cavity in the starlit curtain of space. It is a somber world entombed in layer after layer of cold-colored clouds. It is a swirling black absence where stars should shine. Instead, it is, at last, the ultimate heart of darkness. Sebastian Parnell has chosen his prison world well. So black are its clouds that they swallow the light from the system's weak orange sun and assimilate it like a black fruit digests a nectar sect. The sight of the prison planet sucks away light. The closer a traveler ventures, the more he fears he has reached at last that dark place of legend, that dark place from which no soul escapes. Tol Atto seems suitably sinister to Luke. He expects no less of Parnell's cruelty. The Empire places such value on crushing spirit that the mere fact that such a black planet exists guarantees it lies under Imperial control. But Luke has faced the dark heart of the Empire before, and he knows it can be illuminated. If he has his way, before long, he will open a pinhole in Tol Atto's black cowl. A system of over 100 evenly spaced orbital stations hangs above the planet. Tiny, double-winged balls flit from station to station, their exhaust flames creating streamers that look nothing so much as a silk web. Were it not so menacing, the satellite system might be beautiful, contrasted against Tol Atto's clouds. Gideon pilots the scow to the largest of the stations, located directly over the planet's north pole. A rudely efficient voice guides them into a docking bay on the far side of the station. When they finally step off the scow's entrance ramp, an armed stormtrooper greets them. "Form a line at the entrance," he says, pointing at a bulkhead. A dozen other creatures already stand there, nervously awaiting the start of the next tour. 3 squid heads, properly known as the Quarren, stand at the head of the line. The humanoid Quarren have leathery skin, turquoise eyes, and fingers with suction cups. Their heads resemble 4 tentacled squids, hence the nickname many spacefarers prefer. Behind the squid heads stand 7 members of the Stick-Tex family. The Stick-Tex are not even vaguely humanoid. They have 8 legs, any 2 of which they can stand upon. A shiny carapace covers the back of their cylindrical bodies, and a set of lacy wings protrudes from a slot in the center of the carapace. To a human, their heads are disgusting, and there is simply no other way to describe them. A dozen optic nerves protrude on short, prehensile stalks, at all angles from the skull. 6 finger-length slits serves as a nose, while a pair of fully articulated pincers protrude from a jagged maw. A Twi'lek male and female stand 3 meters behind the Stick-Tex, their skull tentacles intertwined in an expression of affection. They both smile in anxious anticipation of the tour. As soon as Luke and his friends assume their places in line, the bulkhead door opens. An Imperial officer addresses the group. "In the name of Governor General Sebastian Parnell, greetings. This exhibit has been prepared to educate citizens regarding the consequences of criminal activity in this sector of the Empire. I am Lieutenant Salva, your guide for this tour. Follow me." He leads the way into an observation room, looking directly down on the black planet. As you may have noticed, Tol Atto is buried at all times by heavy cloud cover. These clouds contain a mixture of hydrogen fluoride, hydrogen sulfate, hydrogen chloride, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and other chemicals generally fatal to most life forms. Aside from its poisonous atmosphere, the planet also possesses another unpleasant feature, a surface temperature of approximately 477 degrees Celsius. This is hot enough to melt some soft metals. In addition, the atmospheric pressure is 10 times that on most habitable planets. Enough to crush an individual of almost any species. Needless to say, escape from the prison facilities to the planet's surface is an impossibility. Follow me. He walks into the next exhibit, which contains a holographic display of the planet's satellite system. The planet is shielded by a system of 124 orbital sensor stations. Each station guards a designated sector against unauthorized entry or exit. In case someone is foolish enough to penetrate this screen, each station houses a TIE fighter. We can easily swarm an attempted breach at any point. Follow me. The next exhibit is a reproduction of a cell. Tol Atto consists of 1,400,036 cell blocks. Each cell block contains 4,000 cells identical to this one. He opens a Durasteel door, then shines a handheld light inside. Each cell is precisely 3 meters long and 2 meters wide. It contains a bunk such as this. He shines the light on a sheet of metal suspended from the wall. As you can see, toilet facilities are located next to the head of the bunk. We do not waste valuable energy lighting cells for prisoners. In order to prevent blindness, each prisoner may open the cover of this 50 square centimeter grate for 2 hours out of every 20. Nice touch, says the female Twi'lek. Both she and the male giggle. Lieutenant Salva ignores the comment. Through this access panel, he points to a thin slot in the bottom of the door. A droid serves 1 balanced meal per day. Follow me. The next exhibit is a holograph of a supply barge in a docking bay. Some of you may have already calculated that we have nearly 6 billion cells on Tol Atto. At present, we are 90% occupied. This requires a great deal of logistical support. On the surface, we have housing for over 2 million stormtrooper squadrons, 3,000 equipment shops, 10,000 supply docks to accept supplies from our depot on 76095P. Salva continues to drone statistics designed to impress the casual tourist with the efficiency of Imperial incarceration on Tol Atto. At length, the tour ends and the group returns to the docking bay. The Quarren appear uncomfortable, disappointed, or possibly frightened. The Twi'leks smile and laugh, apparently having enjoyed themselves a great deal, and who can say with a stick-tex feel. Luke climbs back aboard Gideon's scow. What do you think? Gideon asks. There must be a way in, Luke says. Getting in's easy, Gideon chuckles. Just tell them who you are. I reckon getting out's the tough part. Perhaps we could stow away the supply barge, Sydney suggests. We know where the depot is. And how are you going to find Erling once you're inside? R2 whistles confidently. Gideon eyes the droid with a mixture of malice and astonishment. All right then. Even if you find him, how are you going to get out? With your ship, you're better off to fight your way in. At least if you make it, you'll know you can fight your way out. May the Force preserve us from this bloodthirsty fool, Sydney murmurs. You got any better ideas? The prospector demands. And we've reached our decision point. Is Luke going to fight his way into Tol Atto in his X-Wing? Put that in the comments. What about the idea from Sydney to stow away aboard the supply shuttle? What do you think of that one? Put that in the comments. What if Luke allows himself to be captured? As Gideon suggested. Put that in the comments. So let us know what you've decided. Put that in the comments. And come back next time for the continuation of Star Wars Jedi's Honor. I do appreciate your time. Thanks for being here. If you would like, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. That way you get notifications when the new videos come out. In addition, I do have videos covering all sorts of tabletop gaming content, whether miniatures, board games, role-playing games, or anything in between, honestly. And I'd love for you to come along and see what we have to share. So, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.